Hello and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. Today we're going to be talking about a little thing, well not really a little thing, but a thing known as, where exactly are you going to get your finance? What's the sourcing of finance for expansion? So, obviously, when you're looking at, organic expansion, you're not really seeing that much of a, basically there you'll have like franchising, there's not really anything costing you there. But if you're looking at, inorganic expansion, then you're going to need to have a bit of cash in hand, unless of course you already have the money. But what happens when you don't have the money? What happens when you've got a business that wants to expand, but it doesn't have the money to expand? They can't just go, oh, well, look, we'll just take it out of our bank account there and there we have it, we've got the money there, we can pay it into the expansion, Where do you source this money, how do you do it? Because millions, billions even, are spent all the time, trying to expand yourself into the market. Now, obviously, it's for my use of own profits, putting its company's reserve back into the business. Or it might start to bring in more shareholders or sell shares to raise equity capital. Now, sometimes, of course, they might decide to take on debt capital by taking out a loan or a debenture. A debenture is a type of loan whereby the interest is only paid back in installments, with the original loan repaid in full at the end of the term. So instead of just paying back the loan and the interest at the same time, you just pay back the interest and then obviously the loan at the end. Of course, that is sometimes a little bit more complicated, but it's like, oh yeah, we will pay off the interest. Yeah, the actual big chunk of money. No, actually, turns out you're not able to do it. But what happens when you look at the advantages and disadvantages of equity versus debt capital? So, first of all, we're going to look at equity. So, the burden of repayments when it comes to equity. So, if a business uses equity finance to expand, then there's less chance of it going bankrupt if it goes through a bad patch, as it will have no actual large repayments coming out of this cash flow. See, if I run a business, let's say this was a channel that way, loads of money, but not loads of money, but enough money to support like myself, full time. So I'm running it away, creating videos, and then I want to create a video that needs a bit of money invested. But I don't have money. I don't have loads of money sitting in the bank. Now, obviously, you could go, well, you can come into my business and you can come along and you can take a share of the profits at the end of the day. And then I'll take your money that you've invested, make this video, and then it'll go viral and we'll be able to expand the business. Yes. Of course, it might not, and the entire thing might collapse. And that is, of course, the risk of, getting into a business. Just because you get into the business, just because you have a share in business, does not mean you will get your money back. But that's the problem, of course. You don't want to necessarily go into debt, because then suddenly it's like a load of money comes back. And then suddenly what happens if, well, later on the line, there's a bit of trouble down the line and you need to go off and get a different job and, work on this at the side, because there's not enough money coming into the business, and then suddenly, equity, well, the person might go, well, I mean, we can stop, we don't have to, be taking money out now. Sure, the money's in there. There's no need for to repay me right now. I understand things take time. But a bank, oh no. A bank is not going to go that there. A bank is not going to go like that at all. No, instead the bank is going to go, no, give us our money. Oh, you don't want to pay us money? Okay, that office you have for the business? You will be taking that. And that machine you use to produce your goods, we'll be taking that as well. A few other assets you got there. Yeah, we'll be taking them indeed. Unless you pay us our money. Banks, they're not going to be so nice when it comes to payments. Now, what happens when you look at timing of repayments? See, when it comes to equity, if business uses equity finance to expand, it can choose when to issue these dividends to its shareholders. And in fact, if it is not performing well, it doesn't even have to pay dividends that year. And it could choose, you could say to the shareholders, well, I know the agreement states we pay dividends, but guys, come together now. Could we possibly reinvest your dividends, and then you see what would happen is the business would expand and it would become more valuable, and then your share in the business would become more valuable, and then if you were to like sell your share, or maybe we could increase your dividends 2 years down the line, that kind of thing. That's the situation I have there. And sometimes, you know, if you are a shareholder, you might agree to that. Now, obviously, sometimes that is a sign a business is about to fail, and you may be cut off with very little, and like, yeah, we really should have demanded that we get that dividend because we have made literally nothing. We invested in this business, they took our money, invested it, lost it, told us that, you know, that we should not get a dividend. We agreed with them for 2 years, we've not got anything, and now the business collapsed and we have no way of selling our shares. That way, you know, it gets kind of complicated in that way, but, you know, shareholders might agree to go, well, yeah, we'll stay off thing. But that, oh no, that's not going to happen at all. But what happens when you need the level of security? You see, in equity finance, a business does not need to have, you know, security. You don't need security to get equity finance. You know, you just say, okay, here we go. Would you like to invest in my business? Now, obviously, you might want to have a little bit of security for those shareholders to make it attractive to them. But the point is, unlike a bank, where a bank will go, well, no, we want collateral. You will pay us in your assets if you can't pay us in money. But a shareholder is not going to be getting, your shareholder's not going to be getting any sort of a deal there, you know, when it comes to, you know, if your business is beginning to fail, you're not going to be giving the shareholder the machine you use to make your product. You know. Now, there's also the level of control. And this is where equity finance begins to look a little less attractive. See, if a business uses equity finance to expand, the owners lose some control of the workings of the company, as they give investors ownership and control in return for cash. Now, of course, this is technically slightly different when it comes to public limited companies, because then obviously, you know, they've got a whole different sort of scenario there where it's like, well, you know, if you don't really have anyone with like a majority of shares, then while collectively you may lose, although you can technically hold on to 51%, and then obviously you don't like, you lose control, but you know, you also have this problem when it comes to tax. Now, this is a problem that, you know, this may not be in your country, or it might be in your country. This is where a business uses equity finance to expand. Dividends paid to shareholders are not tax deductible, so no savings are made from equity finance. However, debt is slightly different in some countries. It's a very weird tax system that some countries have, and that's kind of concerning, because it's like, well, corporations, yeah, you take out a loan to buy yourself that thing so you can crush your competition because you'll have, you know, economies of scale and everything. Well, yeah, sure, why not just take that from the government? Oh, and you person, you earned all that money, and you need a loan to buy your home. No, feck you. No, we're going to be taking that money as well. No, oh wait, oh, you think it's unfair that we wouldn't take the business's money, we'll take yours? Well, yes, that's the way we do things in this place. We just trying to like corporations. It's a funny thing. It's like corporations don't like paying taxes, so we say, sure, and then you don't like paying taxes. But here's the problem. You see, if you do that as well, then we won't have any money. And then, you see, what would happen is, well, you wouldn't get any schools, roads, any services at all, and then you'd be completely penniless. And the problem would be that if ever you needed to literally have any sort of a service, you'd need to pay for it, you know, out of your own pocket. That would mean literally everything. Nothing would be free, because nothing would be something you have not you've actually paid for. You pay tax. Well, many countries, your healthcare is free. Your schools are free. Your roads are free. There are a lot of countries that might have a lot of free things because you pay your taxes. Obviously, you wouldn't get businesses, you wouldn't get their products free, but you get all those other things free, you know, and you can actually, is that a fair trade-off? Yeah. There should be I think sometimes it's a bit dodgy that, governments, you'd allow them to sort of go to the corporations. Well, you can take the tax off. But obviously some countries, can decide not to do that or not. Anyway, in the next video we're going to be talking about how you've got debt finance and that's effect and all that situations you have there. Please do join us then. If not, you can view other videos and you can also go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel that way. Absolutely perfect. If you don't want to view other videos, but now I'm the video to say this. Bye bye for everything and I hope you will enjoy the rest of your existence.